Welcome back, welcome back. Now my next guest, Nazanin Afshin-Jam, was born in Tehran during the turmoil of the 1979 revolution, and her family at that point fled to Canada. She's a Miss World finalist, a pop star and a human rights campaigner, and earlier this year she helped to save the life of a 17-year-old girl who was on death row in Iran. She's now also, in another part of her life, she's released her first album. It's called Someday, and here's a taste of that. Now, the record itself is, in a way, somewhat autobiographical as well. But the story there that I just mentioned, the 17-year-old whose life you saved, tell us how that came about, because it's extraordinary.
Yes, I heard the story of Nazanin Fatehi in Iran. She was a 17-year-old girl in a park with her 15-year-old niece, and this was outside of the suburbs of Tehran in Karaj. And in this park, 3 men attacked them, tried to rape them, and out of self-defense, she stabbed one of these men, and he later died in hospital. So she was convicted of murder and sentenced to death by hanging. And when I first was told this story, I was absolutely horrified. I couldn't believe that in this day and age something could be taking place and the injustice. So I thought, I'm going to try to start a campaign to try to help her save her life.
And how did you go about that? Because it's not easy. You can't have protests in the streets of Tehran, can you? It's not that sort of regime. So.
No, I did it from my home in Vancouver in Canada. I started with a simple petition on my own website, and that started to gain momentum. We ended up raising about 350,000 signatures on the petition, and with the weight of that, I was able to then approach international bodies like the Canadian Parliament, the European Union, and the United Nations, bringing boxes of petition on their tables saying, you know, we have to do something about this. And through the help of the pressure that they put on the government officials in Iran and the international community coming together, we were able to put enough pressure on the judiciary to grant a stay of execution for her and have a new trial set. So this new trial just happened in January, and she was exonerated of all murder charges, and she was released.
Released as well, not detained or anything, but
no.
Absolutely released.
Well, 2 of the judges wanted her to be released unconditionally, but 3 of the judges said that she still used excessive force while trying to defend herself. If you can imagine that. I mean, when 3 larger men are coming at you with a knife, or coming at you trying to attack you, you're going to use all your means to try to protect yourself. But in that case, they said that she's still required to pay certain blood money to the family of the victim. Now, I don't believe in the concept of blood money or trying to put a value to a life. So what we did instead is we raised about $43,000 in bail money to have her released from prison until they could appeal this whole blood money amount. But in any case, she's freed, and even if they require the blood money still after the appeal, that'll come out of the bail. So she's a free woman.
Have you ever met her or talked with her?
I've talked to her many, many times. I've never met her in person. It's too dangerous for me to go back to Iran. And we're working out some papers. Hopefully she'll be able to either come to visit Canada or maybe even permanently come. But we speak frequently on the phone, and she's very grateful to everybody that's helped her through the campaign. And she wants to become a lawyer one day so that she can help fight injustice for other women like her.
How many other under 18 children are there on death row in Iran?
In Iran, there's currently 89 minors on death row, and these are the ones that we're made aware of. Since the Nazanin campaign, we've now led a larger campaign called StopChildExecutions.com. And on this website, we put the profiles of these minors who are on death row, the reasons why they're in prison, and ways the international community can take action and try to have these kids released.
And all the 89 in Iran or around the world?
In Iran, specifically.
89
Iran is the worst offender.
Are there any others?
There's a few others in other countries. There's 2 cases in Saudi Arabia, 2 cases in Sudan, and recently there was 2 cases in Yemen, but the boy, one of them was just now freed, so there's 1 case there. But officially, yeah, Iran is the worst offender.
And you divide your life between human rights activities and your music, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my main focus, my passion is human rights and humanitarian issues, so I also try to find different vehicles to try to promote, you know, these causes, and right now my vehicle is music. Right. It's such a beautiful and powerful tool that I'm hoping to use that to reach the masses, to reach the youth, where they're able to connect on some level. And
would you like to go back to Iran?
I would love it.
But as you say, it wouldn't be safe.
No, I have family members there that I've never met before. It's such a rich culture, and I hear so many beautiful stories of the country that it would be my dream to travel throughout Iran. And yes, it's just too dangerous. They've already banned my websites, both the Stop Child Execution site and my personal website, and I get threatening emails, so right now wouldn't be the right time.
Certainly wouldn't. Well, stay clear of that danger, for goodness sake. But other than that, as you were talking about dreams, we hope these dreams will all come true. And thank you very much
indeed,
Nazanin. Time now for one of our regular looks at one of the lesser-known key players behind the scenes in the US presidential race. Our chosen subject this week is Chris Hughes, who at only 24 has already helped co-found the social networking site Facebook, and now has a crucial behind-the-scenes role for Barack Obama's online presidential campaign. Chris grew up in North Carolina and went to Harvard University. But he didn't get involved in presidential politics until he was approached last year by Obama's internet director, Jim Brayton. Hughes is getting much of the credit for Obama's sudden resurgence in the polls, particularly among those elusive younger voters. He's helped set up an official profile for the Democratic candidate on Facebook and to develop Obama's campaign website, barackobama.com, logical name. None of the candidates is quite certain yet, of course, how important the internet will be this time around. Everyone remembers the massive internet support for Howard Dean last time, a bandwagon which didn't turn into votes and petered out. Though was that the fault of the internet or what? We'll know rather more after the Iowa Democratic caucus, scheduled for January the 3rd. More uncertain futures as we examine climate change after the break.